Hi everyone, my name is Trevor Swagger and I'm currently serving as one of the West Virginia FFA State Vice Presidents, and I serve over the North Central region. I was asked by some of your state officers to come here today and give you guys a workshop. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend your convention due to everything going on, but I'm happy to present this workshop to you online. So I bet you're probably wondering, why are we in the woods of wild and wonderful West Virginia? Well, let me tell you. My workshop today is based on the award-winning reality TV show known as Survivor. In this show, a bunch of strangers will come together on an island and vote each other off day by day until one leader or sole survivor remains. The reason I picked Survivor to be the basis of my workshop is quite simple. I find that the leadership characteristics of that sole survivor allow us to see ourselves as leaders and learn from the abilities within ourselves. The materials you'll need to participate in this workshop are 3 pieces of paper, a writing utensil, and a homemade buff or bandana. To start off this workshop, we are going to be talking about goal setting. A majority of the winners of Survivor set the goal of winning Survivor before ever going on the show. And by doing so, they take actions and steps in the right direction to achieve that goal in the end. As leaders and agriculturists, we're one of the leading motivators in our own goals. However, learning how to take the right steps in those directions to achieve those goals allow us to start this first activity. The first activity is known as going for goal. The first activity today is going for goal. In the TV show Survivor, a majority of the winners choose to win that show before they ever step foot on the island or in the place where the show is taking place. However, in order to achieve those goals, they first had to take a step and look into their own leadership styles in order to take the steps in the right direction to achieve that goal. So this first activity, going for goal, is to show you how, as a Survivor winner, you can achieve goals that you set for yourself. So on your first piece of paper, go ahead and write 5 goals that you want to achieve in the near future or even in the far future. For example, with myself, I wrote be a solid leader, host a great workshop, plan a good West Virginia FFA convention, meet more members, and be there for everyone. All 5 of these goals is something that I want to achieve in the near future as a state officer or beyond my time in the FFA. Then, after you write your 5 goals, I want you to go ahead and rip the piece of paper up. Pieces can be as small or as large as you want them to be. However, one thing is for sure, you have to be able to put the pieces back together. After you've ripped your piece of paper up, go ahead and start putting the pieces back together as if it's a puzzle on the TV show Survivor. Your goal is to not only do it as quick as possible, but I want you to think of the steps in which you need to take in order to achieve those 5 goals. Each piece getting put together is another step in the right direction to achieving one of the 5 goals. Doing so will allow you to see yourself in a different light. It can show you as a leader and understand that the goals that you're achieving or trying to achieve need to be taken seriously, and the steps need to be taken in order to even achieve or begin to achieve those goals. If I want to host a good West Virginia FFA workshop or an Indiana FFA workshop, I'm going to need to make sure that I plan the workshop effectively and take steps in the right direction to film and get the workshop to you as the members. The second activity within this workshop will allow us to look at the style changes within Survivor. On the TV show, they first begin by splitting up onto 2 separate teams, each of them receiving a buff. These buffs eventually change when the tribes merge together to become one. Now, while these style changes are a little bit different, today we are going to be focusing on the different leadership styles in which FFA members, agriculturalists, and individuals in general can achieve. The second activity within this workshop is known as style change. The reason I named it style change isn't because of the style changes within Survivor solely. However, I wanted to focus a little bit more on the leadership style changes that we face every day as FFA members and as individuals. Whether you're an introverted or an extroverted leader, a lot of the times you will find something that changes within you based on the situation you're in, leading you to change your leadership style to become a better leader. This leads me into this second activity. I want you to go ahead and take the second piece of paper that you have and make a crest. Inside of the crest, I want you to write things that make you, you. By doing so, this will allow you to see your leadership style. A lot of mine is more extroverted, individualized experiences, such as ag communication, which is my major in college, or just a speak symbol because I did a lot of public speaking in high school. All of this will allow me to become a more extroverted leader. However, some of the activities, such as a gavel or land judging, allow me to be a little bit more introverted and focused on myself in leadership situations. After making this crest, I want you to share this on social media with the hashtag IndyFFATrevor. By doing so, I can see your crest that you're making for yourself. And if you really want to get involved, take a picture with that buff that I allowed you to have in your materials section of this workshop. Make it a little bit more fun. The third and final activity within this workshop focuses on the individualized characteristics of each player within Survivor, or in our case, each and every FFA member. As an individual, it is important to find yourself in our organization or in the world in general. So the third and final activity that we are going to focus on is titled Be You. I've done a lot of workshops over the years with FFA members in West Virginia to show them that in order to be themselves, they have to understand how unique or different they are from the majority. If you've ever attended National FFA Convention or even a state convention or a regional convention, you understand that wearing the jacket kind of makes you fit into the crowd. However, each and every jacket has its own story, and each and every member within that jacket has their very own uniqueness to them. So this next activity will show you how you are unique from others, or maybe even a little similar. I'm going to be asking you 10 questions on the chart. The chart will then be a lot and a little. You will simply put a check mark in a lot or a little if that question applies to you and vice versa. So for example, if I say I eat a lot of McDonald's, you could either put a lot or a little based on how you are as a person. So let's begin. The first question. I feel like I know how to be a good leader. And you would either put a lot or a little. The second question. I feel like I understand how to help someone in need. The third question. I feel as though I can make a change in my community. The fourth question. How can I help? I understand exactly the steps to take to achieve my goals. The fifth question. I spend a lot of time on social media. The sixth question. I understand how to make a change on social media to my peers. The seventh question. I feel as though I can be a different person based on my leadership styles in different situations. Question 8. I have raised livestock as one of my SAEs. Question 9. I've enjoyed my time in the FFA, however, I'm a senior or in college. And question 10. I feel as though the FFA has changed me for the better. All 10 of these questions allow you to be unique in your own way. A lot of them deal with leadership or just basic social media questions. However, each and every single one of them show you that you're different in some unique way, no matter which question you put differently than someone else. This is just an example chart that I used. And sure, these check marks didn't necessarily go with the questions I was asking. However, if I was to sit down and ask myself those 10 questions, I understand that I would be different from a lot of other FFA members and similar in so many ways. As FFA members in our organization, we find ourselves constantly around those that are trying to build us up. But it's important to find our own unique independence in this organization. National officers and state officers alike can agree with this statement. As state officers on a team of 9 in West Virginia, we find ourselves constantly being different from one another, but that's usually a good thing. So in this last activity with this chart, I want you to show yourself how unique you are in our organization, but more importantly, how you fit into something larger than yourself. Well, Indiana FFA, that's the end of my workshop. However, I wanted to thank you and your state officers for allowing me to come and present this workshop to you. While it's not in Indiana, I'm glad I could bring some of my West Virginia flair into your virtual convention. Have a great rest of your convention and have a great rest of your year.